Students gather outside of King's Chapel waiting for the walk to remember to kick off. They talk about needless things such as AUC activities, waiting for the special guest speaker to come on and announce what is to come.
So, commemoration for the 22nd time of the Rwandan genocide against the Tutsi. And actually yesterday I forgot to tell you, but on the 14th, it marks like the end of the commemoration week in Rwanda. So we're adding this extra day to walk, and a walk to remember simply means we are walking to remember the people who walked outside the country in Rwanda because of the bad politics and the genocide, starting from 1959, going to Uganda, Congo, Burundi, and Kenya, all those places, and also in 1973 and 1994, which was like the ultimate exodus, and also remembering the people who came back, walking all the way from Uganda, barefooted to Rwanda to liberate the country, and fighting all the way. That's why we are doing the walk to remember. So I guess all the people we are waiting for, most of them are here. We can start.
Though the walk is supposed to be treated as a silent event, there are some that speak in hushed tones as they cannot bear to contain some of the statements that they want to hold within. Others speak to themselves and hum a familiar tune from the homeland. All in all, people are taking in familiar scenes of the AUC with a new perspective, thinking about how the walk can be commemorated to those that have been lost.
You can now talk, the walk is over. So the next activity will be for people who have no idea what happened or anything. We're going to watch a short movie or documentary or short video showing like the real thing that happened in Rwanda. Most of you know have seen the movie Hotel Rwanda, but that's like a Hollywood movie. We don't accept it. So we're going to show you something which describes what we believe will be the thing that happened in Rwanda. So,
as stated, the exaggerated Hollywood film Hotel Rwanda does not give an accurate depiction of the events that took place. A more historical perspective can be found in documentary sources as well as movies such as the movie Shooting Stars or Beyond the Gates, shown at last year's memorial events, and Andre Young presents A Story of Reconciliation, A Hope in the Aftermath of the Genocide, Rwanda Rising, shown at this year's memorial service. These films address how the genocide was perpetuated by the government and carried out by average citizens, as well as the lack of interference from the United Nations. The floor was opened up for Raisa to answer comments and questions about the Rwanda genocide, and she had this to say.
It's a sad moment of what happened. But when we look at the timeline of everything that happened 22 years ago, it is not an easy thing for what the country has done to be able to reconcile everybody to be able to live together again once more. But now when you look in Rwanda, everybody's together, so there's no such thing of different tribes or anything. Everybody's Rwandan. So we call it Kinyarwanda. There's a program called Kinyarwanda because we want to promote that no matter what happens, we are one. We are one. We're not going to forget. We're always going to remember, and we're refusing to ever go back to what history, what we've done, what has happened in the history. But one thing, like this year is called Fighting the Genocide Ideology, is we have to remember what happened and then fight for it, teach to our children so that nobody grows up to bring back the past. But we look forward to the future. There's a lot of great things that our government has done to help sustain everybody to live together, and also there's a lot of reconciliation that went through the past 22 years. But mainly the good thing is it is so peaceful. A lot of questions that most people get asked is that, how is Rwanda right now? How is it right now? It's peaceful. If you haven't been there, please come visit. It's very peaceful. It's a country that has a lot of things to offer. It's a beautiful country, but people live together and share together, but we keep saying that we just don't want to forget the past because it defines who we are today. But mainly, we want to create a new name, a new image for what the country has done, and also be able to let everybody know of what the power of reconciliation can be.
This is Justin Winston signing off from Morehouse New Media Technology.